So, why bother with stories? Why not just get to the point? Show the data, make the arguments, and explain the facts. Just tell people what they really need to know. Surely that's the most efficient way to persuade. But it may be the most efficient, but is it the most effective? Imagine for just a moment that I could give you a secret that would make people dramatically more generous. Not through a better argument, not through a clever sales pitch. No, I'm going to simply spray a little chemical up their nose. And that chemical is oxytocin. Oxytocin is associated with bonding, with empathy, with trust. Really, with social behavior. And here's the thing. In one line of research, participants were given oxytocin through a nasal spray. Can you guess the impact? 56% more generosity compared to a baseline group. So here's the thing. You want your boss to approve your pay rise? Oxytocin. You want a client to trust you and sign on the dotted line? Oxytocin. And you want your team to finally put in a bit of hard work, support your new ideas? Oxytocin. It's all down to human connection. There's just one problem. Blowing chemicals up people's noses is a little bit inconvenient, antisocial, and honestly illegal. So don't do that. Here's the next best thing. I'm not here with just problems. I've got some solutions as well. Researchers found that there is something that has the exact same impact. A powerful story. Take a moment with that and ask yourself if you use stories when you present. So, while researching this topic, I came across the neuroeconomist Professor Paul Zak and his team. And in 2015, they did some research and they published a paper. They had spent years studying what happens to us when we listen to emotionally engaging stories. Here's the thing. The research suggests that some of the same biological mechanisms involved in attention, empathy, and social behavior get engaged through good stories. That little chemical, if we can trigger it, is powerful. And I think the best way to explain this is with an example. Drawing on their research, they set up two groups, a baseline and then something a bit different. In the baseline group, participants were shown a video, and we get to watch a mother with her beautiful young daughter, and the daughter's playing and the mother's talking about just how amazing it is to be a mum. And it's warm, it's beautiful, it's lovely. Most of us feel just a warm, happy feeling when we watch it. But it's not a powerful story. We compare that with a different story. We meet Andy, who's a dad, and his son, Ben. Ben is 2 years old. And we see Ben playing in the corner with his toys. He's happy. And Andy is giving the interviewers a bit of commentary. He's telling them about his experience as a dad. And it's equally great. But there's one big difference. That little boy, Ben, has a brain tumor. He has cancer. He will not be alive next year. And we see Andy, and he starts to share about this. And he can't stay composed. He cracks. Because he knows that every minute with his son is so valuable. You can guess the impact that that story has on the group of people watching it. And that's a story which does three things differently. It doesn't just have characters that we like, that we can relate with, like in the first baseline group. No, there is tension. There are real stakes. And there is uncertainty about what happens next. And our hearts open up for Andy. This isn't just scientific research. This is how people make decisions. Most people think it's about information analysis decision. No. Most of us are not so cold and logical. Stories work through a different mechanism. Attention, emotion, meaning, and action. Through powerful storytelling, we tap into the emotion layer, a subconscious effect which drives people to make their own decisions without having to think very hard. Fellow Toastmasters, a story helps us move through that sequence by connecting us to a core emotion. A story can help you drive changes in your life that you're looking for. If you don't use them already, consider the power of a powerful story. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.